us is member of the Senate Armed Services Committee and author of Sacred Duty, Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, thank you for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. We really appreciate you joining us on this day after. Yeah, great to see you. You've served in Iraq and Afghanistan. You've been there over the holidays. For two-part question, you're a smart guy. You can handle it. What's it like to have the commander-in-chief come visit? And second of all, where are we on an outcome in Afghanistan?
Well, first, Pete, as you know, being overseas in Iraq or Afghanistan or anywhere else we have troops around the world for Thanksgiving or Christmas is always something of a sad moment because you can't be with your family. But if you can't be with your family, there's no place you'd rather be than with your battle buddies. And obviously all those troops, I'm sure, were thrilled to have their commander-in-chief make a special trip all the way over to Afghanistan just to serve them Thanksgiving meal and appreciate their service. Second, on the point about the Taliban, obviously we're going to have the Taliban be a part of any kind of ultimate political solution in Afghanistan. But we have to remember the Taliban has not renounced violence. It has not renounced its ties to al-Qaeda or affiliated groups. And it has not recognized the government in Kabul. If they are ready to take that kind of steps and reach a ceasefire, then that's something that we can make progress on. If they just want to give illusory promise in return for concrete concessions, I don't think that's a foundation for a solid peace deal. The president recognized that a few months ago. He recognized it with Kim Jong-un back in February. I don't think he'd take that kind of deal with the Taliban this time either.
You know, Senator, you lay out such a great case. I mean, if they're not willing to do those basic things and they want us to give up all the concessions and remove our troops, are you hopeful that we can leave Afghanistan in a place where we don't have to go back?
I am, Pete, but again, only if the Taliban are willing to be part of a negotiated political solution in Afghanistan. If they just want to make promises in return for concessions and American withdrawal, then we're not going to have a long-lasting peace. And we have to remember that Afghanistan is the place from which the 9/11 attacks were launched and the place that still has the highest concentration of foreign terrorist organizations anywhere in the world. The reason we're in Afghanistan is to protect our own citizens right here at home from that kind of attack in the future.
Yeah. Well said. Well, on another topic, President Trump is right now he's considering whether to designate drug cartels in Mexico as terrorist organizations. When you consider the fact that there were 17,000 homicides in Mexico between January and June of 2019, they've got a huge problem on their hands. Would designating the cartels as terrorist groups help?
Pete, just a few weeks ago, 9 American citizens were slaughtered by these cartels in northern Mexico. If the president has the legal authority to designate them as a terrorist organization, then that'll impose new sanctions and also new criminal penalties to anyone who gives them any kind of support. If the law doesn't permit that, I think Congress should act promptly to change the sanctions that are faced by transnational criminal organizations, which the cartels are already designated to impose a similar kind of sanctions and criminal penalties for anyone helping them. But the one thing we can't allow is for these cartels to continue to poison our communities and to kill Americans that are living abroad.
Do you think it would have an impact on border crossings? We know almost nothing happens at the border without the blessing of the cartels. Does it have an impact?
Yeah, Pete, it could have a pretty significant impact. Remember, these cartels are making a lot of money by trafficking illegal immigrants across Mexico and to our border. If they were designated as a foreign terrorist organization, or if Congress changes the law to heighten the sanctions on transnational criminal organizations, then anyone who's paid a cartel to help traffic them across Mexico would himself be liable for criminal penalties for material assistance to a terrorist organization, or inadmissible into our country for that fact. That would be a big change, and that would be a helpful change on our southern border.
Well, thank you, Senator Tom Cotton, from wherever you are this Thanksgiving. We're grateful that you're here, and happy Thanksgiving to you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Pete. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.